Alright guys, it's Matt from House of Geeks, and today we're going to be playing a 2000 point game of 40k. We're going to be playing a very simple custom scenario, so we'll quickly cover that, and we'll cover the armies shortly. Right, so the deployment we're going to be doing is Vanguard Strike. The Imperial Forces will have this corner, so part of the Imperial sector here that's been ruined by a preliminary bombardment, and over here we'll have the Eldari, or was it Ynnari we're playing?
Ynnari.
Ynnari Wraith Host we're playing, and they'll have that corner there for their Vanguard deployment. There'll be an objective in each deployment zone, so there'll be one over there, one here. We'll put them down shortly. And the aim of the game is to basically keep your objective and steal your opponent's objectives to stop them from being able to deploy onto the planet. So we'll come back shortly when we cover the armies. Right, so over here we have Craftworld Deldrath. I've been told by my opponent Joel today. So Joel, if you quickly want to run over what we've got here, starting from this corner here.
Sure. So we have a Vanguard detachment made up of a unit of Wraith Guards with D-sides, a unit of Wraith Blades with Ghost Swords, and another unit of Wraith Blades with D-sides.
Okay.
And they have a Spirit Seer and the Incarn as their HQ choices.
Okay.
And 2 Wave Serpents. Each of these are the same. They have a twin shuriken cannon on top, 1 shuriken cannon underneath, and they have spirit stones.
Okay, and then the detachment in the back there that I can see looming over the force.
Yes, the air wing detachment of 3 Hemlock Wraith fighters.
So we've got 3 Hemlock Wraith fighters, and is it the elite detachment, isn't it, basically?
Yes, the Vanguard and the air wing for 5 command points.
And that is 2,000 points on the nose.
1,997.
So 1997. It was a good year from what I vaguely remember. So we'll come back shortly with the Imperial Forces. Okay, this is my Imperial army. It is 2,000 points on the nose. I managed to squeeze as much out of it as I could do. We will be using Ultramarines, but they are Heresy Lunar Wolves, as you can see. The big guy in the front is going to be Rubok Guilliman. I know he's Horus, and it is heresy for me to say that he is going to be Rubok Guilliman. But I did decide that we'll give Rubok Guilliman a try. We've not tried him yet, so we're going to give him a blast on the channel. So we are using the standard detachment where you take 3 units of troops. So we've got 1 unit of 5 Marines here. That is not a plasma cannon he's got, that is actually a heavy bolter. Use my Jedi mind tricks and wave my hand around. So just a quick amendment there. They will have heavy bolters, not plasma cannon. Another 5-man squad here. Again, that is not a plasma cannon, that is a heavy bolter. Then we have a 10-man unit here. They are armed with just normal bolters. Sergeant's armed with a chainsword, and there is 1 guy there armed with a plasma gun. They will be in a Rhino, and they quite possibly will be combat squad, and I'm not quite decided yet. For the HQs, we've gone for a Librarian, and he has got Psychic Scourge. Then we have a Commander on the far side. He's just a box standard commander. He's armed with the Teeth of Terror, which is a relic. Then we will go to the squad of veterans here. So we've got 10 veterans. There is 2 heavy flamers in there. There is 4 combi melters, and the rest are combi plasmas. They are in a drop pod, so they'll be able to come down hopefully and do quite a bit of shooting, apart from the flamers, because their range is 8 and obviously have to be 9 inches away. And then we've got a Devastator squad, which is 4 las cannons. We've got a Space Marine Terminator squad. They're armed with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. And then finally we have a fly here. It is a Forge World Flyer model, but we are just using it as a standard Storm Raven. Using this one just because I prefer the model compared to the Games Workshop variant of it. And then obviously we've got Rubok Guilliman here, which is Horus. Please comment and just let me know how much heresy is going on here. So it's always good fun. So that is my 2,000 point force. We will set the armies up, and we'll come back after deployment. Okay, we are done for deployment. So the Imperial Forces have set up in the Imperial, well, what's left of the Imperial City. So we've got 5-man tactical squad, 5-man Devastator squad, the Fly here, which is trying to hide. It's not in line of sight of everything, but obviously Joel can move his fighters very fast. We've got a Rhino here with 10-man, or 2 squads of 5-man Marines in it. So the combat squad in. The Lord of War, Gulliman, and the Commander and Librarian, which are here. Other 5-man tactical squad here. And then in reserve we've got there we go, let me focus. There we go, the Terminators, which will be deep striking, and obviously the drop pod, and the Veterans, which will be deep striking. So for the Wraith host, we have a jet fighter here, we have one over there and the other one next to it. We've got the Wave Serpent here, which has got the Wraith Blades.
Yeah, that's the Wraith Blades and the Spirits here.
So the Wraith Blade Spirits here in that one. We've got Wraith there with D-Scythes, and then this one here has got
more Wraith with D-Scythes.
More D-Scythes. And obviously we've got the Young Khan, which she's over there.
Yeah, waiting her time.
Yeah, she's biding her time until something dies, basically. So we will go to see who gets the first turn. Now we're using the new amendment for the 40k rules, so Joel finished setting up first, so he will get +1, so I'll let him roll first.
That's 7.
So that's a 7. So Joel will be going first, and I will attempt to seize the initiative. So on a 6. Ooh, 5. So I'm not going to bother re-rolling that. So the Wraith Blades will be going first. So we'll come back at the end of turn 1. Okay, that is it for the end of movement phase turn 1. For the Eldar, the Hemlock Wraith fighters have moved up very aggressively and obviously danced around the sky because that's what they can do. Then the Wave Serpent here has moved up and pivoted behind the rock formation. The Wraith Guard have moved up into the crater, and the other Wave Serpent has moved into the other crater. So we're going to come back at the end of Psychic Phase turn 1 for the Eldar. Okay, so we're now at the end of turn 1. Psychic Phase. Joel managed to shoot basically lots of smite, so we've got smite from there into the Marines on top, killing 3. Smite from here, shooting it into the Rhino, I believe.
Yeah,
smite.
Rhino, yeah.
Yeah, cause a wound, and smite from here into the Marines down there, causing a wound. Shooting phase, everything. Well, two Hemlock shot into the Devastator squad up here, wiping them out, and then the other Hemlock there fired into the Marines on top, killing. Another 3?
No, there's 3 total, yeah. The smite
3 total, yeah. Smite didn't go off, that's right.
Yeah.
And that is it, so there's no assault phase for Joel here because everything is a little bit too far back. So we'll come back at the end of movement phase for the Imperium, turn 1. Okay, so we're at the end of Imperial phase movement 1. Everything has sort of just stayed where it is and shuffled around slightly. Gulliman's moved out to give everybody his special bubble, so reroll hits and wound rolls within 6 inches of him. The 2 Marines up here pass their morale phase and they jump down here. And pretty much that is everything done, really. Terminator's staying in orbit and the Veterans are staying in orbit for now. There's no point with bringing them down, not until the Wraith Blades or the Young Khan turn up. So we'll go into Psychic phase for the Imperium. It's not going to be a long one, probably just going to be some smite. And then we've got the shooting phase, which will come back after that. Right, that is it for shooting phase turn 1 for the Imperium. And we have basically managed to cause one of the Razorwing jet fighters to basically detonate. Hemlock Wraith fighter, sorry, not Razor, I'm thinking Dark Eldar there. The other Hemlock Wraith fighter has got 4 wounds left.
Yeah.
And
massive hit.
that is it for now. Basically, with Guilliman, everything can reroll hits and wounds within 6 inches of him.
Yeah.
So everything there has been doing really well. The Storm Raven there has been doing...
Did all the damage, yeah.
Did a great deal of the damage, really. So that is it for Imperium turn 1. Obviously, there's no assaults to be done yet. Although there could be one here. Can you assault something that's just turned up?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Can you get over the wall?
Yes, or through the fence.
Yeah.
Do I really want to assault that though? Or he's going to assault me?
Yeah. That thing's a beast in combat.
Yes. But I suppose if it assaults me in combat, at least Guilliman's there to back him up. So, no, we probably won't assault. So we'll go to Eldar, turn 2. We'll come back at the end of their movement phase, see what my opponent does. Okay, so that is the movement phase completed for the Eldar. The two Hemlock Wraith Fighters, have literally danced around and they have landed just in front of the Storm Raven. Probably going to shoot some smite things out of the backside. And then the Ynnari has moved up in front of the Rhino. And the other Wave Serpent has moved around to this front here, and the other one that was hanging out at the back has moved forward as well. So that's it for Eldar movement turn 2. We'll head into the Eldar psychic phase to cast some smite, I imagine, from the Hemlock Wraith Fighters. Okay, so that is the end of the shooting phase for Eldar turn 2 and the end of the psychic phase. A couple of smites cast, 2 into the Storm Raven. I managed to deny 1. One went through and caused a wound, I believe. And then the Ynnari cast gaze. Smited the Rhino for 2 damage, and then tried to use Gaze of Inyan. Tried to gaze Guilliman. It is not. We obviously we're just having a quick discussion about it. It is classed as a psychic attack, not a shooting attack, so it can target characters. And because it doesn't state that it has to be the closest model, like Smite does, so it targeted Guilliman. Unfortunately, it didn't go off. But he used a command roll. Used a command point and still failed on an 8. He failed on a 7, needed an 8. Shooting phase. Both the Hemlock Wraith Fighters fired into the Storm Raven and managed to get it down to 12 wounds. Well, it's 12 wounds taken, so it's got 2 wounds left. So it is smoking like mad at the moment. So that is it. So we're going to go on to assault phase now for the Eldar, and I believe the Ynnari is going to want to charge something. We'll come back at the end of the assault phase, see what happens. Okay, so that is the end of the assault phase. I was going to film it, but I decided not to because the Ynnari is just a beast in combat. She charged in, annihilated the Rhino, soul burst into the lone Marine Sergeant that was there, wiped him out as well, and then consolidated into the other squad which is in the corner. So that's the end of the assault phase, so we'll now move into Imperium turn 2 for their movement phase. Okay, so that's it for movement phase for the Imperium turn 1. The Terminators have deep struck over here, so 9 inches away from the Ynnari. They won't be able to assault, but I needed to bring them down just to reinforce this side of my board for now. Everything else is just sort of shuffled around. I need to deal with the immediate threat first, which is the Ynnari. Then the 2 flies, which are literally just shooting stuff with automatic hits, which is not particularly very great, but we're going to have to just deal with it for now. So we're going to go into the psychic phase for the Imperium, and then we'll move into the shooting phase. Okay, so that is it for Imperium shooting phase. Quite a lot of small arms fired at the young Khan. Joel made quite a few armor saves for her, really. She shows she did really, really well. Over here, Guilliman actually fired his rapid fire and Hand of Domination into the other flyer and managed to get all hits and all wounds. Joel did pass 4 of his armor saves, but with damage 2 and only 4 wounds remaining, managed to take it down. It did not explode. My flyer fired into the other Hemlock. I got 2 hits with the missiles. One went through for damage. Joel passed 2 of his Fiona Pains.
Yeah, Fiona Pains.
Yep. For the Hemlock, so it only caused 1 damage on that. So that is it for shooting phase. So assault phase, it's going to have to be done. Rabute Guilliman is going to have to charge the creature that brought him back to life originally and teach it a lesson, I suppose.
There's gratitude.
So we're going to roll up, just see what we get here. So 7, plenty of range there. Did you got shooting attacks?
Nope. You're in. So
we're going to charge in here. And we'll quickly see what Guilliman can do. So we're just quickly reading up about Guilliman here. He is quite pokey in combat. I've never actually used him, so I've just seen this is like a tester game to see how good he is. So it comes with 6 attacks as standard. So he hits on 2s and 1 miss. but it's Guilliman, so he rerolls hits. They all hit.
Yep.
And then he is strength
2 hit.
8 with his sword. So he's going to wound the Ynnari on 3s. 3 fail. We get to reroll. So they all wound.
1's a 6.
1 is a 6. Any 6s cause additional D3 mortal wounds. So we'll quickly roll that one up, see what D3 mortal wounds. An extra 1 mortal wound.
So, okay.
So Joel has 6 invulnerable saves to make.
Okay. And 1 mortal wound as well, which is a feeling of pain.
Okay.
So, the 6 invulnerable saves on a 4-up.
Yep.
I make 2.
Okay.
I am going to use a command point
Okay.
to try and get 1 more. I do get 1 more.
Okay.
That's 3 failed.
So 3 failed, so there's 1 mortal wound. And 3 failures is 3 damage. So 9,
What?
10 feel no pains you need to make.
Yep.
10 feel no pains. She only has 9 wounds.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to make 2 6s.
You need to make 2 6s.
To keep
10
her
dice,
alive.
so the averages are good.
And she has 2 6s.
You've made 2 6s, so she's alive.
On 1 wound remaining.
1 wound left.
Yep.
So the Ynnari's going to be able to attack back. So we'll come back to that shortly. Okay, so the Ynnari's attacks back.
Hitting on 2s.
Yep.
So 4 of them hit.
Okay.
And it's strength 6.
So 6 versus Guilliman's toughness of 6.
So it's 4s, but I get to reroll all failed wounds.
Okay.
So that's 2 there. That's just 2 through.
So just 2 through. And what's its AP?
It's minus 4 AP.
Minus 4 AP, so armour save of 2 plus turns into a 6
plus.
So we'll just use her Guilliman's invulnerable save of 3 plus. Pass 1, fail 1. I will use a command point to reroll 1, which is 3 plus. So he saves all of his armour saves. So Guilliman is currently unscathed, and the Ynnari's only got 1 wound left for now.
For now, yeah.
So we will come back. So, sorry, that is the end of my assault phase for Imperium. So we'll come back at the end of Eldar movement turn 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it for end of Eldar movement turn 3. Everything's been quite aggressive here, moving up. Wraithblades have got out their transport, and the transport's moved over here. Other Wave Servant has moved across. The Ynnari has jumped out of combat. The Spirit Seer has moved out. And the Hemlock has shifted over to the side, so obviously it'll be in range of Guilliman with its horrible D-scythes. So that's it for movement phase. So we're going to go on to psychic phase, turn 3 for the Eldar. Okay, we're going to do some smiting now. So the Spirits here will smite Guilliman.
Not on that they won't. So
On a 4 he fails.
I'll have to let it go.
I'll have to let it go, okay.
The Incarn will do the same thing.
Okay.
On 6.
Cast on a 6. I will try and deny this one. I will command point reroll it. Reroll both dice, don't I?
That's right, yeah.
So reroll both dice. No, but do I get them a command point back for being Ultramarines? No, I don't. So we're down to 8 command
So
points.
D3 wounds.
Yep.
2.
2 wounds. And Guilliman hasn't got any form of feel no pain, unfortunately. And I can't take invulnerable saves with a mortal wound.
The Hemlock will try the same thing.
Yep.
On a 9.
9, yeah, I can't stop it.
So D3. 1 more.
1 more. So he's taken 3 wounds just from smiting at the moment. So we're going to have some hefty shooting at him next. So we'll come back. Is there any more psychic?
No more psychic.
No more psychic. So we'll come back in the shooting phase. Okay, see what happens. So we're in the shooting phase at the minute. We're going to have some. Should we do the pistol action first?
Yeah.
So might as well do that first. Always
Spirit
interesting.
Seer, Guilliman.
Yep. So Spirit Seer fire into Guilliman.
1 shot hits on 2s.
Yep.
Strength 4, so 5s to wound.
5 to wound.
No,
Doesn't
nothing.
wound. Okay. This is
And
the
then
important one now.
The 2 heavy D-sides.
Yep. 2 heavy D-sides into Guilliman.
2 D3 shots. That's 3 shots.
Yep.
Strength 10, so 3s to wound.
3 to wound. Yeah.
That is 2 through at minus 4 on the armour.
So I'll just use his invulnerable save. That's invulnerable save of 3 plus. Save them both.
Yeah, there you go.
So is there any more shooting?
No, they're all done.
Okay, so the assault phase. I think we'll just skip the assault phase, shall we, Joel?
No, quite to get them in there.
Okay, so the Wraithblades will be assaulting Guilliman. Guilliman will rapid fire, and we'll come back in the assault phase. So charges are complete. Guilliman managed to cause 3 wounds on the Wraithblades, but with their 4 plus armour save, managed to pass all their armour saves. Well, they're 3+ armour save, but obviously Guilliman's weapons -1. The Wraith, not Wraith Blade, what's it called? Wave Serpent, sorry. Wave Serpent charged in. I managed to hit it with a rocket and the multi-melter. The rocket,
damage,
rocket hit, didn't wound. The multi-melter hit, wounded. Command re-rolled to get more damage. I rolled really poor first time around, so I caused 4 wounds, but with the Serpent Shield it's -1 to the damage.
Yeah, -1.
So we're going to go for now for this combat here. So we're going to roll to see what the Wraith Blades can do. So they have 20 attacks?
Yeah, 2 and an extra 1 for the sword and extra 1 on the charge, so 4 attacks each.
Extra 1 on the charge, okay, so 4 attacks each.
So there's 20 attacks hitting on 3s.
Yep.
What's the 1s and 2s? Unfortunately, I couldn't get the Spirit Seer in, because otherwise he'd have them re-rolling 1s.
Ooh.
Which is why I was there for them. But still, a nice chunk of hits.
Yep.
And there's Strength 6.
Strength 6, Toughness 6.
So 4. Oh, cock dice for that
Yeah.
one. Nope. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds at -2 on the armour save.
So 6 wounds. 2, 4. 6 wounds, and you say it's what, -2 on?
-2, yeah.
So -2, so I've got a 2+ save, we'll turn to a 4, so I usually use my vulnerable because it's better.
Yeah.
What damage is this?
Just 1 each.
Just damage 1, okay, so 3+ vulnerable. I failed 2, could I use a command reroll? I have command reroll.
You've
1.
already used 1 this phase.
I have you, that's right, yeah, so it's just 1 damage, so I take 2 wounds, so I'm on to 5 wounds taken now.
Small mercy.
Small mercy, yeah.
So the other thing, the tank charging.
Yeah, the tank charging, so we'll
3
do that
attacks
first.
hitting on 6s.
Okay. None hit. Not like the Dark Eldar vehicles that hit on 4s, which is always nice.
Oh, damn, I need to get me some of them.
Yeah, so we're going to go into attacks back for the Imperium. Okay, so we quickly did the Storm Raven attacking back. Only had 1 attack because of how damaged he is. He obviously missed. So Guilliman will be attacking back. He has 6 attacks. He'll be hitting the Wraith Blades on 2s. All hit. He is Strength 8 and their Toughness is
5.
Toughness 5, so 3s to wound with a reroll. Okay, so they all wound. 1 is a 6, which is D3 mortal wounds. So an additional 3 mortal wounds straight off the bat. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 saves at -4.
Okay, there's no save whatsoever then.
Okay, so it's 3 damage apiece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wounds at 3 damage apiece, so...
Yeah, unless she's in range, I think that's unit wiped.
Okay.
Which she is not.
Wow, so that's Wraith Blades taken care of by Guilliman. Wow, okay,
Single-handed.
Guilliman is quite pokey actually.
Yeah, very definitely.
Yeah, so we will sort this out and see what happens in the end of movement phase for the Imperium. Okay, just quickly going back, the Serpent Shields have decided to pop their Serpent Shields. They can do it any time of their phase, I believe. So I've been told. So they popped their Serpent Shield, both of them, and they fired it into the Storm Raven as it was the closest, and they managed to bring it down. So that's it for the end of Eldar phase now, so we'll move on to movement phase for the Space Marines. Okay, so that is movement phase done. The Terminators have advanced as well as moved because Guilliman was in 12 inches. They can advance and charge in the same turn because of Guilliman. Tactical Squad there has moved forward. Everything else has basically stayed where it is. Commander's decided to move out with his Teeth of Terror. The Librarian has slightly shuffled round. And the drop pod has finally arrived on turn 3. It's the only way we can get to this objective over here. So the drop pod had to come down. It's the best option really, because the fly is now gone. It was the only option of getting to this side of the board as quick as I can. So Psychic phase. The Librarian is going to cast Psychic Scourge onto the spirits here.
Yep.
Okay, so it is cast on a 6. Failed. I will use a command reroll for this turn, why not? Cast on an 8.
Spirit Seal will try and do that himself.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, quickly see if I get my command point back on a 5+. You do, so I'm still on 7 command points.
I've got 2.
Yeah, two left for the Eldar. Okay, so Psychic Scourge is basically... Okay, so Leadership 8 for the Spirits here.
Puts him on 11.
11.
I need you to roll less than 3.
Yes, so I am leadership 9.
No, I need you to roll. No, even more. No, I'm on 11.
Yeah, you're on 11. So if I roll even if I roll a 1, it's still a draw.
Yeah.
So I've beat him.
D3 mortals.
So D3 mortal wounds. A 6.
So 3 mortal wounds.
3 mortal wounds. How many wounds has he got?
4 wounds a pop.
So he's got 1 left. So that is it for the psychic phase. My psychic phase hasn't been too bad really, having 1 psycho. I was a bit dubious about taking 1, but it's quite a cheap and cheerful option really. They do quite alright for using smite and stuff. So that's it for my psychic phase. We're going to go into Imperium shooting phase turn 3. Okay, so that is it for Marines shooting phase turn 3. We managed to cause some wounds on the Wave Serpent with Gulliman's gun. The young car, we killed the spirits. Spirits here?
Spirits dead, yeah.
And then the young car, what's it called?
Soulburst.
Soulburst moved out of the way, so it wasn't going to be in range of anything else to shoot at it. The drop pod in Marines over here.
Had a blinder.
They had a grinding, a storming shot really into the Wraith Blades over here. Not Wraith Blades, sorry, Wraith Guard. And killed 4, yeah, only 1 left. So that is it for Eldar shooting phase. Morale. Yeah. Oh, no, it's morale at the end of the phase, isn't it? Morale at the end of the turn, sorry.
If I'm there.
Yeah, so we'll go to Marine charge phase. The charges will be the captain into the Wave Serpent. Obviously the fly's not here, it's just there for aesthetic purposes, so it doesn't block line of sight, it's not difficult terrain or anything like that, it doesn't give cover. So he will charge the... yeah, he's going to charge as well, might as well. The librarian will charge into it. Over here... no, I don't think anything else will charge there. And then over here we'll have the Marines charging at the lone Wraith Guard there as well. So we'll come back in the assault phase. Right, so that is the end of assault turn 3 for the Marines. We managed to obviously just get into combat. We managed to cause 2 wounds on the Wraith Guard there. We couldn't kill it, obviously just hitting it with fists, so it's quite durable there. We managed to cause quite a few wounds on the Wave Serpent. It's got 1 wound left. 1 hull point, sorry, left. Oh no, wound it is. We are wounds now. Yeah. Wounds in 8th. And that is it, so we'll go on to Marines turn... No, not Marines, Eldar turn 4. Right, that's it for Eldar movement turn 4. Everything's basically kind of dropped back to obviously get back to defending the objective from here. Obviously, if I take this objective, it's not good for Joel, obviously, because I'm claiming mine, quite a strong mine over there. Just this one here, it's a little bit out in the open now. These veteran Marines are going to get shot at a lot. There's a lot of D sides here that automatically hit.
Yes.
Yeah, auto hit, so it's going to be quite nasty. The Yankars moved back. Over here, the Wave Serpents, they've moved around to try and they'll be shooting some Marines, I do believe. So that's it for Eldar movement phase. We'll come back in the Eldar shooting phase after the psychic phase, obviously. Okay, so that is the end of shooting phase turn 4 for the Eldar. Obviously, the little blank space there is where the Stern Guard used to be. There was a lot of D-SARs coming into it. In the psychic phase, they had Soul Burst put onto them, so they could shoot again. So obviously they had 3 lots of D-SARs shooting at them. So yeah, they got wiped out. The Hemlock fired into the drop pod and only caused 2 wounds, sorry, because it was 2 damaged. And other than that is it. The Wave Serpent over here shot at the 2 Marines up there and killed 1. And this Wave Serpent here fired at these Marines and killed 1. So that's it for the shooting phase. So assault phase, I believe Joel wants to charge the...
I'm going to try and put this guy into the last guy in this unit up here.
Okay, so we'll sort that out and we'll come back at the end of the phase. Okay, so that's it for the end of the assault phase. I stamp shot at the Wave Serpent, obviously didn't cause any wounds. Got in, it didn't cause any wounds on me because obviously it's hitting on 6s. I didn't cause any wounds on it. So that is it for the assault phase. So we'll come back at the end of movement phase turn 4 for the Imperium. Nothing else left to come on the board. So what is here is what we've got. Okay, so that is it for the end of movement phase for the Imperium. Basically what's happened is everything's shuffled out to try and get in range of the Ynnari. We need to obviously get rid of this Wave Serpent first. The squad of Tactical Marines and Guilliman is far enough away from the other Wave Serpent to target the Ynnari, but we have to get rid of this one first in the Psychic phase. So we're going to try and cast Smite on a 5 from the Psyker, from the Librarian, into 5. That's cast on a 7.
The Ynnari will try and stop it.
Okay. What range is it? 24 inches?
24 inches.
Okay.
Daddy, I know how to spell your name.
That's on a 5. I'm going to use a command point, my last one.
Okay, I'm going to use this last command point.
No!
Oh, it goes through. D3 mortal wounds, a 3.
So, do I blow up on a 6?
Does it blow up?
Yes!
Oh no, it blows up! Oh dear.
It went bang.
It did go bang. So it's D3 mortal wounds, I believe.
I'll just double check to be absolutely sure. It's units within 6 inches.
Yep. So that will be literally the Librarian, Terminators, Guilliman, and the Marines.
Yep, it's D3 mortal wounds.
Okay, so do the Librarian first.
Okay, the Librarian takes 2 mortal wounds.
Takes 2 mortal wounds. Okay, the Terminators
take 2 mortal wounds.
So 2 mortal wounds, so one of them is dead. The Marines, normal Marines,
take 2 mortal wounds.
2 mortal wounds, 2 of them dead, and Guilliman
takes 1 mortal wound.
1 mortal wound, okay.
Obviously uses these guys as shields.
Yeah, obviously uses his awesome shield to protect himself there. So we've managed to get rid of the Wave Serpent, but it has exploded in spectacular fashion. I'm sure Joel's happy with that.
Yeah, small mercy, yeah, I'll take that.
So we'll come back in the shooting phase.
Okay, so the rest 2 Marines dead was.
Oh, 2 Marines, yeah. Sorry, yeah, 2 Marines. Let's take this one. Yeah, so that is the end of the Psychic phase. That's all sorted now. So we're going to go into the shooting phase now. So the important ones are the Marines are going to fire at the Ynnari. Now we'll do the Marines first to see if the Marines get the glory of killing the thing that brought their Primarch back to fruition. Yeah. So Bolter hits. Need a 5 to wound. It doesn't wound, but we re-roll because we're next to Guilliman. Doesn't wound. The Plasma Gun is
going to overcharge.
Is it going to overcharge? Strength 8. No, it's going to just going to shoot normally.
Okay.
It hits 3s to wound, strength 7.
Yep.
Doesn't wound, but reroll for Guilliman. It wounds. So this is it, Joel. 1 wound left.
And I've got no command points.
No command points left. So it's a 4+ invulnerable.
4+ invulnerable. No.
Oh,
and she's going to take
feel no pain.
Feel no pain on a 6.
Yeah, that's
small mercy.
Yeah, remember the feel no pain. This could save him. He's been rolling well for the feel no pains.
No.
Oh, that's
and
it.
And the Ynnari bites the dust. Fades back into the warp.
Fades back into the warp. Ready to come back, I'm sure, in the next battle. So we've got rid of the Ynnari finally. That thing
gives you Slay the Warlord.
It gives me Slay the Warlord, yeah. So at the minute we're drawing, I believe, on objectives. So you've got First Blood, I've got Slay the Warlord, and we're both covering our on objective, yeah. So we'll come back
down to Winebreaker.
It will do, yes. So we'll come back at the end of Marine turn 4. Still got a little bit of shooting to do and some assaults, but we'll come back at the end of that. Okay, so that is it for shooting phase turn 4 for the Imperium. We managed to cause, obviously we saw the Ynnari die. We caused a wound, a couple of wounds on the Wave Serpent.
4 wounds on that one.
4 wounds on the Wave Serpent from heavy bolters, and obviously Guilliman firing at it. We used a orbital bombardment stratagem, which was 3 command points. We did it there, and it managed to catch all 3 units.
Total of 1 wound.
Only 1 wound on the Hemlock. Yeah, I didn't roll enough 4+. I did use a reroll, command point reroll, to try and get that 1 Wraith Guard there down, because obviously if I got that down, the other unit would have had to have moved away and obviously onto the objective, otherwise I wouldn't be claiming it. So other than that, that is it for Marine turn 4. We're going to Eldar turn 5. Right, that's the end of turn 4 for the Eldar. We just decided to film at the end of the turn now because there's not much left on the board, just be a bit quicker. Wave Serpent flew all the way around here to contest an objective, killed the lone Marine, so the commander's there by himself. They're currently in combat. I caused 2 wounds on him for the 2 damage on the Wave Serpent. Flies over here to contest Linebreaker. I wasn't aware that flyers could contest Linebreaker, but I believe supposedly they can now. So that is them. That is that contesting the Linebreaker. So we have to deal with that one somehow. And then over here, we blew up the the Eldar blew up the drop pod with the Doom Scythes?
Yeah, the D-Scythes,
yeah. Doom D-Scythes, obviously they're causing just enough wounds to blow it up there. And other than that, that is it. So we'll come back at the end of turn 5 for the Marines. Okay, that is the end of turn 5 for the Marines. Shooting phase and psychic phase was quite eventful really. We managed to kill the Hemlock Wraith Fighter with Guilliman basically. His Hand of Dominion shooting weapon is definitely nothing to be snorted at really. The Psychic managed to cast Smite and cause 1 wound.
Yeah.
And that is it really for the shooting phase and psychic phase. Assault. The Terminators and the Librarian tried to assault at the Falcon, not the Falcon, Wave Serpent. Both needing quite high to roll, but I failed on both of them. I managed to cause a few wounds on it with the Commander. So that's it. So that's the end of the turn 5. So on a roll of a 1 or 2, the game ends, unless the Commanders will spend a command point. So I've got some left. A 1, we'll use a command point. A 5, so we're going to go into turn 6. But do I get my command point back? No, so I'm down to 2 command points left. So that is the start of Eldar turn 6. Alright, okay, that is the end of turn 5 for the game. We managed to take out, we basically did all of Joel's turn and all of my turn. There wasn't much in it.
End of turn 6.
End of turn 6, sorry, that's right. So in Joel's turn, the Wraith Guard shuffled back to make sure they're claiming that objective, and the Wave Serpent backed out of combat to try and stay away from everything. And then in my turn, everything just moved towards the Wave Serpent. Managed to get in with the Terminators and the Librarian, who is under there. He's probably going to be the star of the game for me. Actually, he's done really well. So yes, we managed to take care of the Wave Serpent. So I am claiming this objective here for 3 points. I had Slay the Warlord as well, so that's 4 points for me now in total. Joel has his objective over here. Obviously, he just wasn't able to get to it in time. And he had First Blood as well.
Yeah.
And no Linebreaker, because obviously the drop pod is gone.
And so is the Wave Serpent now.
And so is the Wave Serpent, yeah, exactly. And that is it. So it's a 4 apiece for the game. A very enjoyable game. Very, very harsh is the Wraith host. I think they're going to be very, very hard in the when the new codex comes out in a couple of weeks.
It's going to get better.
Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Joel? Any units of the game for your side?
I think the Wraith Guard have actually done okay. They haven't done a lot this game, but what they've done well. Yeah. The Wave Serpents have been amazingly annoying and tough.
Yeah, definitely.
The Wraith Blades I was a bit disappointed with. Guilliman just smashed them. Yeah. And, I've seen Guilliman first hand and he's an absolute beast.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously I should give it to Guilliman because he's a Primarch, but it's just the easy option giving hit to Guilliman, so I'm not going to give him my man of the match. I'm going to give it to the Librarian. Just steady streams of Smite. He's been popping around the board. Joel's not really took any notice to him really, so he's done quite well. So my man of the match is a Librarian, and Joel's will be the Wave Servants, I believe. Wave Servants have, like I say, popped around and been annoying really. Thoughts on 8th edition, Joel?
Loving it. I don't have any previous edition experience, so it's 8th edition all the way for me, and I'm loving the game as it has at the moment.
Very good. Yeah, same here. Still loving 8th edition at the minute. I was a bit dubious to start off with, but have been enjoying it so far. So that is the end of the game. It is a draw, and I hope you guys like and share the video. Please comment and let me know what you think of it, what you'd like to see next. And that is it for this game. I'll speak to you guys next time. Toodaloo.